What's good, guys? Before we get into this video, I just want to remind everybody to please leave a like if you enjoyed today's video, and also dislike it if you also hated it. Whatever you want to do, just any form of interaction on the channel always helps boost the video out, so not only the people who are subscribed to my channel can see it, but others who aren't subscribed to my channel can see it as well, and hopefully we can get some newcomers coming to the channel too. But let's get into the topic. So today I wanted to talk about some AAA developed games and what is actually going on with these gaming companies nowadays. Now back then, if we were talking about the original Call of Duty games, like let's go back to where Call of Duty really started taking off around Black Ops 1 and Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 2 and all that good stuff. We used to have plenty of content, and there used to be nothing that involved DLC besides the maps. Everything else came with the game. You know, there wasn't any future skins that they would put into the game. There was no extra weapons they would put into the game. Literally everything that was in the game came with the base game. You know, it wasn't anything that we had to beg for them to actually put into the title. Same thing with games like Battlefield. If we look back to Battlefield 4 compared to Battlefield 5, God, I mean, just comparing the two, it's insane. There's no customization in Battlefield 5 compared to Battlefield 4. There is so many weapons that I can't even count in Battlefield 4. And then we get to Battlefield 5, it almost feels underwhelming. It almost feels like we didn't get exactly what we were asking for. A while back, I was actually watching Angry Joe talk about the new game Anthem. And this game, for anybody who doesn't know already, I'm not even going to summarize or get too deep into details about it, but it was a huge flopping failure, and the content in the game was awful. There was nothing to even grind for. And he was showing a point that when they were actually, when the developers were talking about this game, when they were talking about Anthem, they showed a lot of different and unique content that was in the game, different armor pieces, different camos, you know, so on and so forth. But then when the game actually released, none of this stuff is there anymore. It all vanished, poofed into nowhere. Where did all this content go? And that's the point that Angry Joe was trying to get to, is that I think that these companies, they're making these games, they're making them full, like they're complete, they're 100% complete, but then they strip them, and they take certain pieces and certain sets out, and then they will bring them out later on for, you know, more money. So initially, it was a full $60 game. They take content away from it, they charge you $60 for, you know, the scrapped out game that they give you now, and then they'll slowly give you back what the full game actually is. They'll give you all that content back before a price. You know, it might be a $10 price to get these certain armor pieces, or a $20 price to get these armor pieces, you know, so on and so forth. It's such a messed up practice, and it's sad to see that this is the direction that some of these gaming creators are taking nowadays. Like I said earlier, I mean, we used to have so much content back then. So many guns, so many maps to start off with. A game was fun from the beginning. But nowadays, it doesn't even seem like the gaming creators even want the game to be fun from the beginning. It's almost like they just put out something, and then later on, they'll slowly piece together what this game will actually be. And that's a bad practice, because you need to make sure your game comes off strong in the beginning. If the game isn't strong in the beginning, nobody's going to want to even play it to see what the future of this title will be. Right there and then, they'll make up their mind and say this game is awful, this game is trash, and then it will die. Just like what happened with World War II, right? 6 months. It took them 6 months to finally listen to the community and fix the game the way the community wanted it fixed, right? Before the 6 months, everybody was done. They're like, this game is awful, it's trash, it's the worst Call of Duty game. They're done. After 6 months, they finally make these changes, unlimited sprints put in, they mess with all of the other things and the weapons and the classes and all this fun stuff, and the game is a blast. I went back to it, and I preferred that game more than I prefer Black Ops 4 in its current state that it's in. And a lot of people would honestly agree with me as well. And the same thing is going on with Black Ops 4. They're taking the same exact path. Even though apparently they didn't learn anything from World War II, or what happened to the World War II community. They didn't learn a tiny bit of anything for it, but they're doing the same exact thing. They start off with nothing. The bare minimum of everything. No content, no weapons, no anything. Then on top of that, they make it so in order to get weapons, you have to grind a tier system. So in order to get all the cool and unique weapons, you must play hours and hours and hours, day in and day out, to unlock everything in this tier system to get the new content. Whether you want the new skins, the new camos for your weapons, if you want just new weapons in general, you have to play the game for just a mind-boggling amount of time, or you can just cough up $50 to $100 to unlock what you want in the tier system. I'm going to move over to Battlefield 5 a little bit because I want to speak on this just a tad bit. Because Battlefield 5, you might think it's not lacking tons of content, and they might be in the clear just because all of the content that gets put into this game is free. So a lot of people are like, well, you can't really criticize this game because they literally just asked for $60 and the rest of the content is free. Which I think every AAA company should follow this path. I feel like Call of Duty should have been following this path of, you know, selling the game for $60, the maps are free with it, the DLC is free with it, the microtransactions are none. It's literally everything is grinded for in this game, and everything that you grind for in Battlefield 5 doesn't feel insanely long. Like the Tides of War, to unlock all these different unique weapons, I could do that in 1 day. In 1 day, compared to how long? It's like I think you get 100 days to complete the tiers. And I literally only have one weapon out of all the DLC weapons they added into Black Ops 4. I have one weapon. That's absurd. That's insane. That's way too long. And like I said, at that point, it becomes pay to win. Because nobody wants to put that much time into the game to grind it out. But I'm getting off topic again. I'm sorry. Every time I think of Call of Duty, it pisses me off because their business practices are absolutely out of this world. They must be being run by aliens. It has to be aliens that are out of this world that are trying to destroy Earth, and this is their way. They're like, okay, Call of Duty is the game. We're going to manipulate all these peoples. We're going to make them broke. We're going to take all their money from their pockets, and then we'll take over the world and kill everybody. That's how we're going to do this. But Battlefield 5, yes, it just lacks tons of content, and it hurts me to say that because, like I said, they made everything free. The weapons are free, the maps are free, everything in this game is free, but it's just not enough in the game to start off with. They needed more maps. I mean, the maps are, like I said, the bare minimum. There's barely anything in the game, and then when they add a new map to the game, it's an open tank map. No infantry is really welcome in this map unless you want to stick closely to the middle flags. Now, they did adjust a few areas of the map, but it's still mostly strictly a tank map. And infantry is kind of just a side thing. And that's what they did wrong. I feel like in the next upcoming Battlefield map, it should definitely be an infantry map because that's what the majority of the people play as. You might have 1 to 2 tank players and 1 to 2 people flying in the sky, but the rest of the people, the rest of the 40+ people in the lobby are infantry players. Nobody wants to be sitting and dying across the open field 24/7. That's not fun. So it lacks tons of map, which also makes the game boring. And it makes it not really recognizable or fun to come back to because there's not enough maps or unique areas to visit to have fun wars and fun experiences with the game. That's what is killing the game off right now. And the weapons, it's a really sticky area for Battlefield 5. Because like I said, it's hard to compare the two between Battlefield 4 and Battlefield 5 because Battlefield 4 had so much content. But also Battlefield 5 scrapped having the attachment system. So you can't put a grip on your gun, you can't put a quick draw, you can't put all these amazing scopes. You literally can only put a close range scope, medium scope, and that's pretty much it on your ARs. And then you upgrade it through the progression tree. Okay, it's no attachments involved with it. But weapons, on the weapons side, all the new weapons they added into the game are pretty much just copy and pasted weapons from Battlefield 1, which is depressing. Now, yes, they did add a lot of cool, unique, different weapons into the game, but the majority of the stuff they have been giving us have been from Battlefield 1. So there's still not enough content in this game to keep anybody satisfied, and on top of that, there's still only the Germans and the UK in this game. Where the hell are the Americans? Where are the Japanese? Now, I know too many people don't really care for my videos when I start ranting on and they last like 15 and 20 minutes. I'm sorry. I think I'm one of the very few YouTubers out there that can actually genuinely enjoy making a video this long. I swear to God, I'm not trying to make all my videos hit the 10-minute mark. It just naturally happens, I swear to God. I don't know why I can talk so much on YouTube, but it's fun. But I'm going to try to cut it short here. Basically, the moral of the story is that both of these companies, both Activision and EA, and not just them, a lot of the newer games that are coming out as well, it seems like they're starting their game off with nothing. And with the expectations that they will continuously add on. So basically they're saying, okay, purchase our game for $60 and we promise you that we will continuously give you enough content so you feel like you spent a good 60 bucks. Like your 60 bucks was well worth the money. And that's kind of hard to do because you need to make sure that you attract your customers and you attract the people who are playing your game early. If the game isn't fun, if it doesn't have enough content, if it's not action-packed enough in the beginning, then nobody's going to stay to see what you can actually put in this game later on. So the moral of the story is that please guys, please, for future references for all of your upcoming games, put more content in the game. And I'm especially talking not just for Battlefield, the next Battlefield title, because Battlefield 5 is going to be going on a little bit longer, and I think they're going to finally get it, and the game might be worth 60 bucks one day. Not just yet, but one day. But I'm mostly speaking about Modern Warfare 4, the next upcoming Call of Duty title. Please, for the love of God, put enough weapons in the game. Allow us to be able to have enough options that we're not sitting here having to force ourselves to play the tier system just so we can unlock some new unique weapons for no reason. Because 9 times out of 10, not everybody in the world is going to be able to grind out all of these DLC weapons. Like I said, you guys know how much I play this game. I play this game enough that I can post Call of Duty videos almost 2 to 3 times a week. And I'm still constantly getting clips for this game. And I'm still ranking up this game daily. And I still only have one weapon. I have one weapon out of all the weapons that added in this game. Let me tell you something. I definitely don't feel like I got my $60 worth off this game. Not even to the slightest. But thank you all for tuning in to yet another video. Make sure you leave a like if you absolutely enjoyed it. Hit that dislike button if you absolutely hated it. And you can always subscribe to the channel if you want to see some more content. And also, here's a little hint for all you guys. If you want to be notified on my videos, hit the bell notification button. That'll help you get notified on all of my recent uploads. And if you just want to chat with your boy JBoneTheMan, you can always catch me on Twitter at JBoneTheMan. If you want to catch me streaming as well, you can catch me on Twitch at JBoneTheMan as well. Thank you all for tuning in to yet another video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.